Well, hello again. Okay, this section right here, medieval architecture. Oh, I need to hit start. Start. Oh, no, I don't. Stop. Reset. Start. Sheesh, man. This section right here, is kind of one of those. If we have time, I think it's awesome. If we don't, okay. But we do typically have like three main types of architecture styles in the medieval period: basilicas, Romanesque, and then Gothic. Okay. Are there other types of architecture? Yeah, these are the big ones. Okie dokie. So the first one, basilicas. Honestly, a whole lot of our churches from this time, we actually call it the Basilica blah blah blah. The famous Basilica, St. Peter's Basilica, isn't even a basilica anymore. It's more Romanesque now because we added, well, I didn't do it, but eventually there was a dome that was added on top of it. But a basilica basically is a rectangular building with a flat roof. This is where you get like this idea. And then you have, yeah. This up here is for like, your archers to stand off and be like, off the walls. Typically with basilicas, you see square or rectangular, what is that, drawbridge or like big doors. You typically see rectangular or even really, really skinny. What are those called? Windows. Flat roof. Okay, and everything is rectangular or squared off. Some picture examples is like this. This is a basilica style. It's not. See, typically today we think of a basilica as a church, but I mean basilica style. Basilica style. It's basically flat. Now this is still considered basilica style, even though you have like different levels, but it's still flat. I think you'll see what I mean more in a minute. That is not a basilica. This is Romanesque. What you do with Romanesque, you take your basic basilica style, okay, where you had the rectangular thing, all right, but the rectangular base, I should say. But instead of having a lot of squared off, there we go. Instead of having a lot of squared off, like roofs, like this over here, okay, or even rectangular things, you have arches now. See, the Romans invented the arch. That's why it's called Romanesque. And y'all, I don't understand the physics behind this. I just know it's true. For whatever reason, a square can't hold as much weight as an arch. Again, I don't know the physics as to why that is, but it can't. So if you have something that is an arch, you can actually make it a lot taller and it can be a lot heavier. So what you tend to see sometimes with Romanesque architecture is you're going to take this right here, this typical squared off, okay, and you're going to make it into an arch. You also will have maybe some arches for the windows, yeah, and then you might still have some square, but you're going to have some, yes, I paint and draw, whatever. You're also going to have some barrel ceilings like that, arched ceilings. Wait, where is it? Such as this. We have an arch here. And look at the windows. They are arches now. Typically, we see basilicas more in the early medieval period. This came a little later, even though it has to do with Rome. And then you see here, it's arched. You're like, no, it's pointed. It's considered arched, I promise. So Romanesque, a lot of the time, is when you start having like your towers, like you see here. They add some towers on it. St. Peter's Basilica, which is what I just mentioned. Oh, I don't want to leave that page. There's a concert coming on in a minute. That's not true, in an hour. St. Peter's Basilica. Okay, I'm going to talk about this more actually whenever we get to the Renaissance, which is coming next. But this was the original building right here. That right there. Later, they added on this dome. So a lot of the time what you have with a lot of the Romanesque stuff is they take a basic basilica and then they'll put on those barrel ceilings, okay? Arches. If you're like, I don't know what a barrel ceiling is, then right here, rounded barrel ceilings, parentheses, right here, arches. Arches. Okay. This is another example of Romanesque. You see arches here. And then we have some towers. Okay. Okay. This right here is called the Marksburg. I did not pull up my pictures. Dang it, I forgot. Sheesh, man. This is one of those things that I show you my personal pictures. I totally forgot. Let me pause this and I'll be right back. Hello. All right, I'm there. Okay, so this is where I show you some of my pictures, right? The Marksburg is on top of a big, yeah, that's what I thought. It's on top of a big mountain, hill, whatever. It's not like a mountain. Although my father and I did climb it. It ain't small. Look at that. Yeah, we went up there. This right here is the Marksburg. It is the only castle on the entire Rhine River in Germany that was never conquered. It was attacked. Army got up there and fought and everything, but it's the only one that wasn't actually conquered, taken over. That's some pretty good, what's the word? Defenses. And it started out basilica shape. Then it turns into this Romanesque style that you see. I don't think I can zoom in. Yeah, I can. Where we have towers and stuff, okay? And I actually will show you the difference in the windows. It will go through even a Gothic, I don't know, makeover. And then they took it back. They took the Gothic elements away. But I'll explain why. I want you to see some of it up close. We toured it. This right here is the wall. I actually leaned over the wall, like with my dad, like holding on to me so that I could take a picture of this. Like I'm standing on one of these things, but on this side, and like leaning over so that I could take this picture just for you guys. And that down there is the road that we came up on. But we didn't drive. No, we walked. But anyway, this is the wall. That's another one of the reasons that this castle was never breached. The difference in a castle and a palace. A castle has a fortified wall. A palace, it's totally open. Right now, you better have a wall. Later, like in the 1700s, they're going to get rid of the walls, okay? But this early on, you better have a wall. But This is a pretty impressive wall. That's why I took a picture of it. This is another picture where, again, I'm just leaning over. What if I had fallen? That would have been hilarious. Why's my head way down there? All right. I took this picture at the bottom looking up just so that, again, you could see the wall. And I want you to notice this. What the crap is that in the wall? It's a slit, duh. Yeah, but what is it? What's it for? That's my bow and arrow sound. Yeah, it's for knights who like are on the lookout and they're like watching to shoot out if somebody's coming to attack. Yeah, it's little, so it's hard to get an arrow straight in there, but it's easy to shoot an arrow out. So kind of cool. Here's another picture looking straight up at the tall tower. Oh, and one of the things that they told us, you can tell, I don't remember the years, but you can tell based on the material that was used, what was added on and like what was original and stuff like that. Like this, you know, was original and then this was added later or something. But you can tell, and then like up here is even later. So like where you have like different materials and stuff, where you have like different materials and stuff, that's where you have things being added on. Most castles aren't built and then they just stay that way. Most castles are built and then people change them all the time. I love this picture. This is such a cool picture. Okay, look. What you're looking at are windows. If I go back to the previous one, you can kind of see here, this outline. This is so cool. At some point, and I don't remember the dates, but at some point, the Marksburg got a little bit of a Gothic makeover. And they got Gothic style doors. Did I say doors? Gothic style windows. Right here. Okay. We'll look at Gothic style windows later. But see, Gothic style windows were really, really big. And it was easy to get arrows in them. So they build these Gothic windows and then they go, okay, those gotta go. That has to go. And so then they close it back up and just leave the little slits. Freya, are you okay? Yeah. So I think that's really cool that, you know, they did that. This is a better picture of it, just so you can see how the window was closed up. This is, again, another type of material that they used. Probably an original material. Okay, I love this picture. We were above, obviously, and I took a picture down. This right here would have been a lookout station back then. This is the river down there. That's probably our ship right there. But this is the river. And so this right here is a lookout station where the knights would be on lookout. I love this because today you can see like, you know, all of the modern stuff. But this right here is a lookout. And then you can see like when they fight on the wall, because this is the wall. I mean, this is like they're on top of the wall right here. You can see how like thick it is. That's why I took this picture. This was the way in. Another one of the reasons that the Marksburg was never conquered officially is because there was only one way in. First of all, it's up on this like mountain hill thing. To us in Texas, it's a mountain. To people in Germany, it's a hill. Okay, but there was one way up. And once you get up, there's only really one way in, and it's right here. There's another issue. Once you go in, which is what this is showing you, and this right here is probably some original brick, and then all of this white was probably added later. Look at this. You're like, I don't get it. So, do I have another picture? I thought I did. Look at the ground. So, okay, guys, first of all, you're walking up. So you're going uphill in here. But second of all, Those aren't steps. It's all like this. And horses couldn't easily walk up this. So if an army did get in through, like they got up, they got through, and they got in here, their horses couldn't do this. And so, yeah, it's just another way that, you know, the people defending the Marksburg could further push an invading army out. When we went in here, my dad was like holding on to me because I couldn't walk up it. You know, I had my boots on and stuff. Oh, I don't really wear my boots anymore. My big, giant 4-inch platform boots. Man, I couldn't hardly get up it. So my dad's like holding on to me. We ended up walking over here. In fact, our guide told us that this was the way to go right here. But if you went up this old medieval way, can't do it. And I will second that because it's not a step. It looks like a step, but it's this. And the horses couldn't do it. So again, another defensive thing that I thought was way cool. This is just showing you some inside pictures. I just thought that was a really cool door and I really wanted to go down there, but I didn't. It's like the dungeon. I don't know what it is. It's probably not the dungeon. It's probably just a pantry or something. This right here is Gothic inspired. This was part of the chapel. And I think, I don't remember. Most of the paint has come off, okay? But this was part of the chapel in the actual Marksburg, like the little church. Here you have, it's probably lion, maybe Daniel and the lion, or maybe Jesus as a lion, I don't know. But this is part of the chapel. That's the key. I took a picture of the key because it is like you see on TV, where it was like one of those big, giant, old school keys. Guys, these right here are relatively normal size keys. Yeah, that was the medieval key. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool. This is a bed. And look right here. Yeah, a little Gothic inspired baby bed. It's so cute. And I promise I'll show you Gothic in a minute. Technically right now, this is Romanesque architecture, but there are Gothic elements in here because of when it was built. Gorgeous. Look at that chair. Probably the most uncomfortable thing you've ever sat in. Today, we would definitely want, you know, a cushion or something, but just a gorgeous Gothic feeling chair. Gorgeous. This right here, part of the dining. I don't know what that is. Did I mark it over here? Nope. I thought this was way cool. This is part of the kitchen back then. Nobody lives in the Marksburg anymore. It is a museum, okay? But this is the way that it would have been. If I remember, I think she said it was in the 1300s. And Frey is whining, so I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, sorry. All right. So anyway, this is the kitchen, and like I said, I think it's from the 1300s. I put them in their little chair. Can you see them? There they are. Sweet babies. Okay. Dishes. I believe she said that they were pewter, if you know what that is. Here's their stove. Can you imagine cooking like that every day? This is cool. This is a printing press. I'll talk about it more later, but it's how you'll eventually be able to print, like the beginning of copy machines and stuff. This right here is an anvil. This is the blacksmith's station in the castle. The blacksmith makes weapons and all that good stuff. And not just weapons, y'all. Farm tools, they're the ones that what's it called? Put the shoes on the horses, that kind of thing. Okay, this right here is the outer garden of the Marksburg. And you can see there's the Rhine River down there. Garden. I took some pictures of flowers for my grandmother because she loves them. So that has nothing to do with you. Okay, these are some of the families who built, okay, the Marksburg. That's what oh man. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. These are some of the families that built the Marksburg. I believe the first family, Herren von Epstein, and that's around 1283. That's right at the end of the Gothic period, which is obviously why there's Gothic tendencies in there. These are two more families. Here we have another one. I can't see it very well. 1283 to 1479. And it's Grafen von Katzen. I can't see what it says. Katzen, is it ELN? Bogen. I don't know. I can't tell. But that's, Graf is like a noble title. And then right here we have another family that took control for a long time. 1479 to 1803. That's a long dynasty. This is the Landgrafen, land. I can't remember. Graf, is it like, I think it's like count maybe, but it's a title. It's a noble title. Von Hessen, that's their name. Here's some more. I believe this one's Prussian. This white, I can't remember for sure. This one right here. From 1803 to 1866, that one didn't last very long, did it? Herzogten Nassau, or Nassau, I don't know how they would say it. We would say Nassau. And then here's some armor that they have in the armory. I guess I should show you, even though I don't talk about them. This right here, I believe, if I remember right, Spartan, Roman. This right here is, all it says is barbarian. I just know it's Germanic. I don't know which tribe it is either, though. Does it say back there? Can we tell? Gaelic. So the Gauls. This one right here, I can't see it. I am thinking, I just put barbarian. I don't know. Norman. Remember William the Conqueror? Norman. Crusader. There is something, I didn't put it here. I don't know what year this is. Oh, it's blurry back there. I can't tell. All these armors are so cool. I thought this was amazing. I did not know this, and this is so cool. Okay, so do you see that his little is down, right? And here, she raises, same armor, his little thing. Yeah, she raises it with her giant key. You can see how big that key is now. Look at that, compared to her key. So anyway, you see she raises it. Whenever, like this knight would go to a castle or whatever, okay, they would say, who is that? Because I mean, you don't know, you can't see him. And so what they would do is they would flip it up, right? I'm about to sneeze. I've been sneezing all day. It's so frustrating. Okay, anyway, so they would like flip it up, right? That's where the British salute comes from. The British, they don't salute the way we do. They salute this way. That's where it comes from, because they would take their mask and flip it up. Isn't that cool? I didn't know that until she was talking about it, and I was like, no way. That's where the salute comes from. I think it's cool. I can see back there it says Ritter, but I can't see anything else. This looks like French to me. Musketeer. Oh, look at this. This is an actual, that's what I was hoping I put on here. Look. This night, look how big that head is, first of all, compared to her. Now she was a little thing, but anyway, 50 to 80 pounds was the armor. It's pretty crazy, man. Some of the weapons that were on display in the Marksburg. You have cannons, the torture dungeon, this is just the way Dad and I got up there. Again, it's beautiful. It's a road, but like we walked it. And then this, you can see what we saw up on top of the Marksburg. This picture and a couple of the next ones I love because it allows you to see, look how far away they could see. If I'm a knight and I'm on duty up there, I can see an army when they cross over this mountain. I can see them. I can see their horses kicking up dust. I can see a huge number of people coming. And I know to get my people safe, all my peasants that live out here, I'm going to get them all and bring them in. And I can do that before they get here, probably. This shows you how far you can see on the other side. Look at that. I can see dust being kicked up. I wouldn't be able to see, and I wouldn't know where they're going. Maybe they're going to the castle over here. I just made that up. There's not a castle there. But you can see and go ahead and start preparing. So again, having the high ground, like we've talked about before, for a castle or anything is the way to go. All these pictures are from the Marksburg. There we go. No more. All right. So as we go back here, let's switch to Gothic. That is amazing to me. I do have a lot of kids that are like, I don't like it because there's too much going on. I get that. Gothic is very ornate. There is a lot going on. That's why I hear the same thing when we talk about the Baroque style later. I have a lot of kids that are like, I hate Baroque because there's so much going on. I know, there's a lot. But what they have done, that's not what I want. I want this. This little guy looks like the hamburger helper dude. Do you even know who that is anymore? Or is that like 280s? Basilica is fairly flat. Romanesque, we're going to start using arches and we're going to start having towers. Gothic throws all that out. With Gothic, you're going to take your arches. Let me do this. You're going to take your arches, okay, and you're going to have a pointed arch. So you, whoa. Oh, I guess I need to hit draw. Sorry. So you're going to take your art. What the heck? Stop it. What is the problem? Okay, we'll do that. Okay, I don't know what the problem is. All right, so we'll take our arch, okay, and you're going to do a pointed arch, which means instead of it just being an arch like the, what is the deal? Look, I'm frustrated. Okay. Instead of just having a typical arch, you're going to have the pointed arch, which will do this. Sort of. That's pretty crappy, but you'll see it in real life in a minute. It is still an arch, but it's pointed at the top. You will also start to see we have our base. You're going to have these pointed arch, gigantic doors where a person is like that tall. Like that's a person. They're tiny compared to those giant doors. You're also going to typically have the arched windows, or like you saw on the Marksburg, you actually saw windows that did like this, that kind of thing. Okay, but we're starting to get a little bit more ornate. These buildings are also crazy high, whereas a basilica was maybe like this tall. Okay, and then Romanesque would have a couple towers like that. Guys, what you're looking at with this picture that I'm drawing right here, that's just the base. Because you then have these spires that stick straight up. Yeah, you have these spires that stick straight up. Spires are points, not arches, points, spikies. Because these buildings are so tall, you also have to have all of these things that they're like support beams. They're called buttresses. But okay, get over it. Buttresses, flying buttresses. They're flying because they're ornate and they're pretty. And I'll show you what all this looks like in real life. A lot of Gothic architecture has your gargoyles up here to keep the evil spirits away, that kind of thing. A lot of them have stained glass windows. Okay, they're just crazy ornate. So when we go back and look at this picture of the cathedral in Milan, look at all these spires. Spires are pointies. I'm sorry, it's pixelated. These are all spires that stick straight up. They're not arches. They're pointy spikes. Pointy spikes. Look how big the doors are. This is another famous Gothic building that caught on fire a few years ago. We watched it like live in class burn. I had some tears, you guys. This right here is Notre Dame. I know they're rebuilding it. I know. This right here is Notre Dame. Okay. It's not Notre Dame, by the way. Don't you say that. Notre Dame is a team. Notre Dame is the cathedral in France. Okay. Okay. So most, not all, most Gothic buildings, cathedrals, are in cross shapes. This is. You're like, what? It's long here. And then this right here will go across this way. Okay. This down here is a full building. These are buildings. Guys, these are trees, not bushes, so that you can get an idea of height. These giant spires that stick straight up, the great, whatever that is, the stained glass windows. And look right here. Do you see these weird things that are coming off right here? Those are buttresses. They're support beams. Here's another view of Notre Dame. This is the side view, okay? But when you look at the other side, it's like this. That's where Quasimodo lives. You've all seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame, yeah? You see these pointed arches here? And again, these are people down here. Look at the size of those doors. They're huge. This is a great stained glass window. This right here is those three gargoyles in the Hunchback cartoon. That's those three gargoyles. This is the bell tower here, both of these. This is a stained glass window right here. And the idea of stained glass was people can't read the Bible. So their Bible characters, their Bible stories, whatever, are in stained glass. This is what the inside looks like. Typically, because they're in cross shapes, they're really, really long, skinny buildings. Really long, skinny buildings. Here's another Gothic style. You have the big spires here. All of these are spires. This is where you see that different shape, that kind of flowery shape like I drew on the Marksburg. Here are those flying buttresses coming down. They are those support beams. This right here, stained glass. And then these are full buildings. All these down here, those are roofs, those are full buildings. Guys, the idea with Gothic architecture was to show how big God is. That was kind of the idea with having these giant buildings that went sky high. This right here is showing you a closer up picture of what the flying buttresses look like. From far away, they just look like just part of the building, but they're actually support beams that come down. And that's part of what makes Gothic architecture look so ornate, or in some people's eyes, so messy. These are some gargoyles. And again, the gargoyles, the purpose is to keep the evil spirits away. There we go. This is my most favorite building in the whole world. This is the Cologne Cathedral in Cologne, Germany. Man, look at that. Now, this is a painting of the Cologne Cathedral in the 1800s. You have so many spires. Oh, it's just beautiful. Here you see some buttresses coming down. It's just amazing. I got to go there. This is the Cologne Cathedral. And these are like 3-story buildings. So again, you can see it just shoots straight up there. I have a lot more pictures that I'm going to show you, except I lost my arrow, so I can't change it. Sheesh, man. No. Would you like to save your picture? Nah. I'd like to show you the rest of my pictures. Oh, okay, good. That was it. So now let me go to my cathedral pictures. Whoa. Here we go. I mean, there's just a few. I was so excited to see the Cologne Cathedral. You just have no idea. Okay, so this was my very first view of it. And we were like on top of the boat, the ship, I should say. And I was like waiting. And then we came around this bend and I was like, Mom! I was really excited. So I took a whole bunch of pictures as the spires were coming more into view. See? There she is. The Cologne Cathedral. Here she is. Just gorgeous. Look at her. Do you notice? I already got out of it. This painting right here shows her as being white. Do you see that? But whenever you look at this, she's not white. That's because of World War II. All the bombing and stuff, the Nazis actually were holed up inside of the Cologne Cathedral because they realized that we, not just us, but the Allies, we weren't attacking, bombing palaces and cathedrals and historical things if we could help it. I mean, if we had to, we had to. But if we could help it, we weren't bombing historical things. So the Nazis were holed up inside of it because they were like, they won't bomb it. So we didn't. We bombed literally all around it. There's an amazing picture. I actually show when we're talking about World War II so you can see the destruction. Or I can go ahead and show you now because, yeah. Look at this. I've never seen this one. Part in color, part not. Interesting. Look, the Cologne Cathedral was here, right? We bombed the crap out of everything around the cathedral, including the, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can't really, but including the bridge right here. We did that. We did that so that the Nazis, I was looking for a picture of the bridge, but we did that so that look at that, so that the Nazis couldn't get away. We wanted it to be bombed to the point that, see, look at that, all around it, it's just burning. But it's because of that. It's because of the staining from the bombs and stuff. This right here, this picture right here is the Cologne Cathedral, and you might be able to see that it's in a cross. Here it is, the long skinny, and then here's the other part. If not, there are other, that's interesting. There are other pictures. Here we go. Here she is, the Cologne Cathedral from the air. That's what a lot of Gothic cathedrals do, is they'll look like a cross from the air. The idea was whenever God looks down, he can see crosses. So anyway, just a little side note, but some of these features that you'll be able to see when you look straight up, and that's what I'm doing, I'm looking straight up at the Cologne Cathedral, you can see pretty well all of these pointed arches here in the, what is it, the decoration. And you can also see, look at the old white and then where it's stained black. They do still have people today who are like fixing this. If you look up here, you see scaffolding where the Cologne Cathedral is still under construction, because they're not still building it, they're fixing it, they're refurbishing it, that kind of thing. Look how big it is. These are the doors. This, I was looking straight up at one of the big tall spires. This is the scaffolding. Kids are always like, how did they build that? They build that. The pointed arches. This right here, I took this picture because of the buttresses. These are all buttresses, all of these. Again, it's what makes it look ornate, or to some of you, what makes it look messy. More spires, and then these right here are buttresses. Up close, I was taking pictures of some of the gargoyles. Some of the pictures I took, I'm sure that people were like, why is she taking pictures of those? Because I teach it. Gargoyle, look at him sticking off like that. He's like, ah. Okay, this right here is leading into one of the doorways. Every single one of these, it's hard to see looking at it this way. These are all carvings of people. These are all saints. I was looking up at them. Maybe now you can tell they're all people. See? So again, with Gothic architecture, you do have a lot of ornateness going on. This is the old entrance, but it's like barred off now. They want you to use the other entrance. I don't know why. More of all of these saints. This right here is where they're still making stone, like masons are still making stones to put on the Cologne Cathedral to fix it, to get rid of the black and make it white again. I like it black, frankly, but that's kind of the purpose. Okay, this is showing you some of the inside pictures. This is what it looks like inside, long and skinny. This right here, you guys, that's the organ. Couldn't think of what it's called. That's the organ right there, way up there. You want to be the organ player? That's cool. That's my mom and dad, but they're inside. That's me and my mom and dad inside. Isn't that cool, man? I love Gothic architecture. It's so cool. Everything's ribbed like that. It's just cool. This is another one of the organs. There's multiple. This right here was one of the things that used to be on the top, like a spire, the top of the spire, but it had to be replaced, but they still have it there. And I took a picture, an up close picture of a gargoyle, an old one. This, you know what? This is the back of my phone still. This is a stained glass window. I am darn proud of this picture, by the way. That was in there. There's another one, just a bunch of stained glass. And kind of the idea was that whenever the sun would come through, it would put that on the floor so people could see it big on the floor. There are some, this was the confessional. There are some tombs in here, and I don't know if I wrote their names. Maybe I did on some of them. I don't know if I did or not. But there are some tombs in here, people buried in the Cologne Cathedral. This is a tomb. I didn't write who they are. Tomb of Godfried IV, Godard von Arnsten inside the Cologne Cathedral. I don't know. It's a tomb for Godfried IV. And look, this is the front of his tomb. Look at little doggies. Here's another tomb. Looks like a, well, I don't know. I was going to say a pope, but maybe not. I wish I had put their names. I may not have known them. Oh, here's another one. I remember this one. These are all tombs, people buried here. And I will say this too, these tombs, it wasn't like in a weird part of the Cologne Cathedral. It's just out. Like there's chairs to sit right here. And then there's a body buried. But it's not really buried, is it? And very interesting. We don't typically think about having skulls and dead bodies and stuff in churches. Well, look. One of the things that we're going to actually talk about when we get to the Renaissance is the idea of reminding people of death so that they do, I'm about to sneeze, so that they do make the choice to become a Christian, that kind of thing. We'll see that more later. This is some more inside pictures. Ooh, isn't that gorgeous? This is the altar. These are, I don't remember what relic they have in the Cologne Cathedral. I don't remember, I'm sorry. But these are some relic in the Cologne Cathedral. I just can't remember. And I didn't write it. That was my brother. We're not Catholic. If you are, that's cool. We're not, but Travis had a friend who had just died. And when we were there, he just felt the need to light a candle. When I teach about the Renaissance and I talk about lighting candles, which is going to be an issue later, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, now this is downstairs. This is the crypt where there were like popes and stuff buried. We weren't allowed to go see it, but this was the crypt. We couldn't go like they had a, was it that? Like they had a thing blocked off, but you could see like the people that the names, all these people were like buried in there. But again, we could go down this far, but then they had a door and we couldn't go farther. You can see the Cologne Cathedral from our ship. That's it right there at night. And that's it. Yeah, this is the Roman thing now. So here we go. You have the biggest three types of architecture. Yeah, basilicas are fairly flat. and they're more early medieval period. Romanesque, you're going to take the basilica, the flat basilica, and start putting some towers on it with like arches. Arches, okay? And then Gothic, you add all kinds of craziness. The big pointy spires and the stained glass and the gargoyles and the buttresses and all that stuff. Yeah? Okay. Das ist alles. We'll talk about more architecture, but not in the medieval period, later. Bye-bye.